Welcome back to Nightcap Chat, the pop culture podcast. We talk all things comic books, video games, movies, TV shows, and more. Today, we are talking isolation video games. I'm Blade O'Neill.
I'm Lance O'Neill.
And here we are, still in isolation, still in quarantine. You knew this topic was coming. We mentioned it last week.
Yeah, it's gotten a little tighter for us though right now, unfortunately.
Yes, just a couple of hours. Arizona got into the only essential services, so we're really stuck now. But we will all get through this together. And if you're tuning into this, we hope that this is something that's helping you get through this. I was digging through some statistics on our various pages, and I see some of you guys, I mean, like most of our following, is in the United States, and, we're in the United States, but I'm seeing little things from India, from Ireland, the UK, Australia, but so, I mean, no matter where you are in the world, I mean, thank you for listening. It's really cool not to only be listened to, in various places in our own country, but it's really cool to expand to various places of the world.
Yeah, it's awesome. When we saw that, that's crazy.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening and taking the time to be a part of Nightcap Chat. You guys are all making this possible. Of course, don't forget, we're on various social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Nightcap Chat, and at Nightcap_chat on Instagram. And we're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, Castbox, and more. But we got a fun little topic here. We're going to talk about some video games today because they're, if you're sitting at home not doing anything, I mean, you need entertainment. So that's what these episodes are geared toward, movies, TV shows. And today we're going to bring you some video games. I've been enjoying video games, after working on the weekends. I always work from home as a producer and a voice actor. So, I mean, working from home is nothing new to me. But I mean, after work and on the weekends, I like playing video games.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot lately because, not being able to work has left me a lot of downtime. So, I've been into so many games. It's a good thing a lot of games came out kind of recently too, that it's kind of helps keep everything fresh. I don't just sit there and try grinding one game over and over again.
Yep. So what have you been playing?
It's been okay. A lot of Animal Crossing lately.
Yes.
Animal Crossing it's been so much fun.
So I have it on my list. I have not been playing it, but I've been watching it. My wife has been playing it since the day it came out. Every day.
She's been grinding it.
Yeah. I mean, she's doing some work. She just set it up. She got her campsite going to be able to scan in her amiibos. Animal Crossing New Horizons is the new game for the Switch. And so for those of you who don't know, Animal Crossing is, gosh, I don't even know what to call it. It's just a sandbox.
It's a life simulator, kind of.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's like The Sims, because I actually just bought the Sims 4 was on sale the other day for $5, so I bought it and I started playing that too. But you're essentially in charge of your island, and it's just one of those games where it's just casually you can make the house and you make the island the way you want it, and you fish for and get bugs and farm items to make the island the way you want it, and you attract these little animal characters to your island to also live there. I mean, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to Sims, but I think it might be, in some aspects it has way more detail, and others it doesn't, I'd say.
It doesn't, because I'd say there's some of the stressful parts of the Sims, like worrying about how badly you have to go to the bathroom, or your hygiene, or your hunger. Right. There's none of that stuff you have to deal with. So it's a less stressful version.
But in Animal Crossing, you have to constantly play, or else your character will, bad things will happen to your character. The villagers won't like you because it's oh, you've been gone for 2 weeks. Where have you been? And,
really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I have not seen that problem from
America.
And I'm
sure she's playing.
While she's playing, I also have it to where sometimes on my TV, we're watching a Twitch streamer also play Animal Crossing. So we're also seeing what they're doing while she's playing it on her Switch. So I haven't even played it yet, and it's just been so much fun to even watch.
Oh yeah, it's a great game to watch or play. I've been loving the fishing part of the game, and I think it's just because I'm really a big fan of like, you know, RPG games and the whole RNG of like, I'm probably going to get something that's like garbage, but I might get something that's super rare. So, you know, that like gambling aspect to me is like super fun. And especially being able to they introduced that you can go to like randomly go to different islands, and so every island will have something different or something unique.
Yep.
And
she's trying
having
real
Tarantula
hard to get the
Island.
Tarantula Island right now. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere right now, you have a chance through April, and it has to be after 7 p.m. and before 4 a.m. So she's working really hard to try to get that. Because
every night for the past like 3 nights, Alicia, she's found a tarantula on our island every night.
So Erica found I don't know whether to call it a glitch or what it is, but somebody was suggesting on one of the Animal Crossing Facebook groups that no matter what island you get, if you dig up all the trees and clear it of all the resources and you can dump them, eventually it'll start spawning tarantulas. Now, I mean, some of you might be like, why are they so desperate for tarantulas? Tarantulas sell for an incredible amount of bells, which is the Animal Crossing currency. So like if you get a ton of these tarantulas, like you can sell them for like $250,000 bells or something.
Yeah, it's like 8,000 bells a tarantula.
It's pretty crazy. So like it's really good for your island's economy, if you will. So speaking of economy, she actually just texted me a few minutes ago checking the prices on turnips. Turnips are like stocks in Animal Crossing, which is, I don't know, I think that's kind of fun. So every Sunday you get the chance to buy turnips for a certain price, and you have to buy them in batches of 10. So yesterday when she bought them, they were about 90, I think there were 96 bells a turnip. So today the going price is 80 if you sell them. So like you can sell them Monday through Saturday, but you have to sell them before Sunday or they go bad. So there's another little gambling aspect. You're like, oh, you know, maybe I'm doubling my money today, but should I hold out to see if I can triple or quadruple, or do I sell?
Never. Always sell.
Always sell. Yeah. I told Eric, I was like, you know, as long as you're doubling your money every time, like it's all good. But there's
one in the hand's better than 2 in the bush, you know? There
you go. The guaranteed investment though would be when you plant the money trees.
Yes.
So like so sometimes in the ground you see a little gold glowing light. So if you dig it up, it's 1,000 bells. But once you dig it up, you have the option to plant as many bells as you want. And then I think it's like 4 days later, you triple the amount of bells. So today, she should have a tree that will produce 90,000 bells because she planted 30,000, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. One little thing, it's not really a glitch, but one way to make a lot of money quickly, and it requires some time and an investment, would be if you go to an island. Obviously in the game, you know, everyone gets a certain fruit. So it might be, you know, you have pears and your friend has peaches on their island. So if you go to their island and you get their peaches, they'll sell for more on your island because it's like an exotic fruit.
Yep.
But if you go into your friend's store, they always sell their fruits. So if you go into the store and let's say peaches aren't on your island, you could buy peaches for 400 bells. But when you bring them back to your island, you sell them for 500. So if you have enough money, you could buy 2,000 peaches and bring them back to your island and sell them for $100 profit each.
Interesting. Just a bit of a grind.
If you want to just be like, if you have like 100K bells and you're like, well, you know, I could make a quick 20K bells right now and just that's that.
Yeah, for sure. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm excited to finally try it. I'm almost tempted to buy another copy so we can play together, have a separate island, but I'm not quite there yet. And I've been occupied with with my own games. Right now, Overwatch is doing the Archives event. It's a yearly event. It has not quite a story event, but I mean, kind of, because there's a little cinematic scene. But I love Overwatch. I still play Overwatch. The event is ending, so I mean, if you're getting it now, there's only a few days left. But I've been grinding to try to get some of the skins that I want. I have enough of the gold saved up right now, but I just want to make sure I don't unlock it. But
they also have a new character coming out soon.
Yes, yeah. Echo is in the playable test realm on PC. Looking forward to her release. But I still always recommend Overwatch. I wouldn't pay full price for it right now because we got Overwatch 2 coming out at the end of the year. I think it's projected. It's
$20 on Blizzard store right now.
What's really neat, and if you're thinking about getting Overwatch 2 but don't want to buy Overwatch now, your stuff is going to carry over. They confirmed. So all of the skins and emotes and unlocks you get are going to be available in Overwatch 2. Like, that stuff's going to carry over, which is really nice. And I think that's going to set a really nice precedent for certain first-person shooters going forward. Like, obviously, something like Call of Duty might not matter because it's just, the lore is not quite something you're following, but maybe for like Halo multiplayer, maybe certain things like that might be cool. I think it's an interesting trend that I hope to see in the industry going forward.
I'm just surprised that they haven't made it cross-platform yet. I don't know what they're waiting for.
I definitely agree with that. And that was the nice thing, I think, about Call of Duty Warzone, which actually just came out during this whole quarantine crisis or whatever. So Call of Duty Warzone. Now, is that the whole game or is that just this section of the game?
So it's part of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare that came out a few months ago, I think in November. That game is its own game. This is like an add-on to that game, and you get the add-on for free, but you don't actually get Call of Duty.
Has this add-on been there since November, or is this new for everybody?
It's literally just launched for everybody.
Gotcha.
So it's just basically a free-to-play battle royale. They have solos, they have squads of 3, and then they have another mode called Plunder, which they actually just changed, and they named it Blood Money now, and they added a couple different things to it that make it way more fun. We actually won our first Plunder yesterday. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, because, when we play, we usually play that mode to kind of get warmed up and just go for kills, because it's if you die, you just immediately respawn like 20 seconds later. So it's not a big deal. But they made it so that way if you do get a kill, that person, just because they don't have money, doesn't mean you don't get money now. So now if you kill them, you get money. So we were just going around just destroying everybody. And then next thing we knew, we're like, oh, we're at $1 million. And then another team got $1 million. And I literally, like the last 4 seconds, we ran into another squad and we took out the whole squad, and I slid, picked up his money. And then 2 seconds later, the game ended and we were in first place. Wow. We were literally in first place for only 1 second of the game and we won.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's really neat.
Yeah. The game's really fun. I don't know if anyone has played Call of Duty Blackout was the other battle royale they did a year ago.
Yeah.
And that one was not very good.
I don't even remember what my issue was with it. I don't know I think it was like something was off to me personally about the controls.
That, and there was way too much to it. So like you'd pick up a gun and then it'd be like, oh, well, I also have an attachment, and then you have to figure out what this attachment goes to this gun. Oh, I found a magazine. This magazine's for this. It was just, there was way too much going on.
So I barely even remember that. I only remember playing it a couple of times, and because I mean, like, Fortnite was fun for a little bit and then, kind of whatever, but regardless of what you think of Fortnite, like the battle royale style, it can be fun, but it's nice, like in Call of Duty Warzone, which is, what we're talking about now, like it's a first person shooter as opposed to that third person view, which is really nice. I prefer it for a shooter kind of game, but it has a little tutorial too in the beginning, which I think was really helpful, because there are little things like, you on the D-pad, you can use this to mark a spot, or this is how you drop something to your opponent. So, and then the guns I think are pretty straightforward. Like if you're familiar with shooter games in general, like you kind of get a good idea. Like, oh, you know what a rocket launcher is going to do. You know what a sniper rifle is going to do. You know, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, they've captured like the basics of a regular Call of Duty and just put it into this game. They do have rarities of guns too, which is cool. Like there'll be an M16 that's a gray or blue or whatever. And it's not that complicated. It just means it has like 3 attachments. It's not like, oh, I have to pick my attachments. It's just that's that and that's it.
Yep.
And there's golden guns and stuff, which is fun. One of the good things about this Call of Duty is the fact that compared to like the last one the last BR that happened was this one, there's not just like 5 areas of the map that like are named areas that are like good places to land. And then the rest of it's just an open map where you can get sniped from anywhere. It's a pretty like close quarters. So that way you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to run across this field that's like 20 miles and hopefully I don't get sniped out of nowhere and have no idea where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of cover, which is good. It makes the game last a little longer. The interesting thing though is there's 150 people in each match and the matches go so long.
I don't like that. I wish they just kept it down to 100 because when I mean, one of the first matches, it said, you know, I feel like we played for a long time and it was like, you're in whatever place. And I was like, how were we in that place? Like there shouldn't even be that many teams. And then I realized that it was teams of no more than 3 and there's 150 teams. So that
150 players.
150 players, excuse me. Yes.
Yeah.
One thing that is pretty nice though, like, cause in the battle royale format, you know, it's pretty much you die, you're out, but you do get a chance to the first time you get knocked out, you get sent to the gulag. Right. And you get a chance to do a 1v1 fight to fight your way out. And then after
which is awesome.
It's so, you know, you have that one chance, like they stick you in a room, in a prison. And what's cool is if your whole team dies, if you take you're going to take turns doing the 1v1 fight. If you're on voice chat, your team can tell you what's going down. So like, oh, he went left. So, you know, it's a really cool dynamic, and it gives you that one little extra chance to get back in, which is really neat. And if your team does survive, if you don't fight your way out of the gulag, you can be bought back because there's a money aspect from what is like getting kills, and you can also pick up random money.
You can do missions in the game.
So that's what I liked about, I call it the chicken game. I can't remember.
Realm Royale,
which I still really liked. I don't know what happened to it. No one seems to really.
It still exists. It's just, it's a very small player base.
I really liked it. And I wished, and I liked the style. I liked, the dynamic of the classes, and that there was that kind of fantasy element. Like I thought it was really neat. I wish it caught on more, but I mean, this Call of Duty game is fine. Like I'll be back with you guys in a few days once this Overwatch event is over.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun between the gulag being able to come back and then someone could just buy you back. It's been kind of interesting. You can buy your loadout. So if you're familiar with a gun, if you have enough money, you can buy like a loadout for your whole team, and everyone can like pick their loadout, just the same loadout that you would use in like a regular Call of Duty game, which is cool.
Yep.
But it's been entertaining. I mean, there's a couple of issues with it, like the audio's not very good. But besides that, it's a fun game, and it's worth trying, and it's free, cross-platform. If you're on an Xbox, PC, PlayStation, you can play together. That's the biggest thing. I mean, it doesn't hurt if it's free, but it is like 100 gigs to download. So any of you out there, make sure you have enough room on whatever console you're playing.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, no, free is good. Worth trying. You know, you're sitting at home with your friends. Like this is something you guys can play together, at least in groups of 3, depending on your how many of your friends game with you. So now I want to touch on a couple of older games. So maybe if you don't want to play with friends or you don't have that many gamer friends, There's still plenty.
No, it's fine because you said gamer friends. I was worried you were gonna say if you don't have many friends. I was be like,
that's me. If you don't have many friends and you're all lonely by yourself in your isolation, so I've got a few older games written down that I think are some essential games. I'm gonna start with my favorite. This is my favorite game of all time. And if you listen to Nightcap Chat, I'm sure I've said this is my favorite game of all time, and you probably know what I'm about to say. I consider it my favorite game of all time because I don't think I have gone back and replayed a game from start to finish as many times as this particular game. And that is Super Mario 64.
Well, okay. I mean, that I'm not saying anything against it. I love it. But you haven't played Pokemon more times than that?
Played through the story start to finish? No.
Pokemon? Red version? Blue version?
Nope.
Really?
No. I don't think you realize how many times I have played through Super Mario 64.
I mean, I haven't played it through that many times. I've only played it through twice, I think.
Really? I've played it through, I don't know, like I had a little, especially like during high school, like I played through it like every summer, at least once. I mean, that's 4 times right there. I played it a few times as an adult. And obviously there was those once or twice we played through in our childhood. I love that game. I mean, like that was awesome. Super Mario 64 is, so it's not like a 2D side scroller. For those of you who don't know, I think it's the first time it was more of it wasn't quite open world, but it was 3D. The first 3D.
There's a 3D level.
It's like a platformer, I guess, right? Is that what it would be called? I think so.
I guess.
But I mean, it is a classic Mario story. Peach gets kidnapped by Bowser, and you have to make your way to Bowser and defeat him and save the princess. In this time, you start at Peach's castle, and this is all 3D, so it's not like 2D side scrolling. It's 3D, and Bowser stole all the stars from the castle. That kind of, I don't know, it's the magic of the castle and Peach and blah blah blah, and they're in all the paintings within the castle. So within each painting, there's a level, but each level has, I think, 6 stars plus 1 bonus star or something.
I think it's 5 plus a bonus,
plus the one you get when you get 100 coins,
and 10 red coins.
Yeah. That was always one of the regular stars.
Oh, right.
So there was 6 different ways to play each painting level, because there were things to, whether it was fight a boss or collect the 10 red coins or return the baby penguin to the mama penguin. So you got to figure out.
Or don't and throw it off the cliff.
Or don't and throw it off the cliff, because that's what you did. That's what you did back then.
That's what you did.
There was
but I think you have to return it first, right? The first time you do it, you have to do it, or else like that you break the mission, right? Am I wrong? I want to say if you don't first do it, then that's it.
No,
but I think after the fact you can throw it off.
No, you can throw it to start. You just can't get close to it, because it will.
Oh, okay.
Because she'll acknowledge that you brought back the baby penguin.
Oh, remember if you bring back the wrong one?
Yeah, it's like, this isn't my baby. Looks nothing like me. And the mama would get. Also, because there was 2 baby penguins in this course, and if you played it back then, everyone dropped the baby penguin off the side ledge. Like that was just what people did.
Which is terrible.
That is terrible. I think it was just more of a curiosity on whether the game would let you do it.
Right.
And you're just shocked the first time that you do it.
That game definitely top, I don't think anyone that's played it, growing up, that's definitely a top 5 game. It has to be like one of their top 5 games of all time.
I love it.
And
just talking about makes you want to play it again.
Yeah. And between that, I don't know if anyone hasn't played it yet, who's listening, but if you've played or have tried to play like Mario Odyssey or Mario Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
If you played those games, this game's better than those games.
Yeah.
But those games are also very good. So if you need something, because I know if you have like a Switch, I don't think you can play Super Mario 64. I don't think it's on the available for the Switch yet.
But you can buy it digitally on the Wii U.
Yes. But if you want to try out Mario Odyssey, that game is very fun. If you have a GameCube and you have a little extra money to spend to buy Super Mario Sunshine, that game is amazing. I love that game. That game was so much fun.
Actually, I've only watched you play it. I never played Super Mario Odyssey. Or no, not Odyssey. Sunshine. And I do.
Sunshine's really fun.
I do want to play it.
And it had like a little different dynamic because you had to like upgrade your backpack thing that shoots water. It was a real fun time.
And I started up Mario Odyssey. Hasn't hooked me yet, but I am gonna finish playing Super Mario Odyssey. All right. Do you want me to pick next, or you got one?
You can pick, and then I'll do one after that.
So my last Mario game on the list, and we'll see if that stays the way. I wanted to write this down because it's something a little different, and it was the first. I mean, probably might have been my age, but it was the first time I got a game and I started playing it, and I stayed up almost all night playing it, and I had to force myself to get off, and I went to bed for a little bit, and I woke up and I started playing it again, but that's because I got it in the summer. But if you like RPGs, you'll like Paper Mario.
Oh yes,
and I'm talking about.
I had no idea where you were going with that. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh yeah, Paper Mario's
64. Awesome. I believe you can purchase it on the Wii U as well, but it's a different Mario game. I would hesitate to call it open world, but you can go from town to town, as the story progresses. It's a lot of fun. It has lots of fun RPG elements like turn-based fighting. You pick up different little sidekicks that you can equip along the way, and as you collect it's like the Master Stars, I forget what they're called. I think they grant you different powers.
Yeah.
Really fun. It is a classic Bowser kidnapped Princess Peach, but a little more. And another little twist is in between each chapter, you actually get to play as Peach in Bowser's castle, and you keep figuring out ways to sneak out of your room and do little missions and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it very much. I've played through it more than once. You can't say that about a lot of video games, I don't think. But all of the older games on my list right here, I've played through more than once, which is why I really think it's worth going back to. And if you haven't played it, it's definitely worth experiencing.
100%. And there is a newer one that came out recently, and that one was very good. I don't know. Did you play that one?
Are you talking about the one that came out for the Wii U?
I think so, but like the last year the Wii U was out, it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was solid. It was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Wasn't as good. There was something about it that I felt like I was just in this trapped in a box,
Really?
It didn't quite have the same kind of charm as the first one, unfortunately.
I loved it. I had a good time with it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
So one of the games I had, it's kind of like an older game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like similar to Paper Mario. There's an older version of it, and there's a newer one that just came out.
Okay.
So you can kind of go wherever you want with this. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Okay. Just all
of them. All of them. All three of them are great. The first one might be a little better. I don't know. I could be wrong. I feel like the first one might be a nostalgia thing.
The first one is a nostalgia thing, but the first one is so the second one, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, is based on Civil War.
Right, which is frustrating.
Yeah. So once you get through the first things, you have to pick Team Cap or Team Iron Man.
And then that limits you to who you can play as.
Yeah. I think some of them you can get both, but like you kind of have to play it twice. On top of that, Ultimate Alliance 2 is kind of a long game. Like you think you're wrapping this up and then it keeps going.
Which is great.
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, but it's just, I mean, it can make it like stressful to a degree.
Especially in the era of like a campaign game is like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is really frustrating.
What the first one really has going for it is you're fighting the Masters of Evil, but I think the way it like hops around between not just focusing on, like, for example, like number 2 is just like Civil War, but then it kind of keeps going. I think number 1 does a better job of exploring the Marvel universe, right? Because you're fighting the Masters of Evil and your home base goes from, I don't remember what they are and what the order is, but it's just like it goes from like the Avengers Tower or something, and then you go to Atalan at some point on the moon, and then you go to Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum at some point, and I think are you in the X-Mansion too at some point?
Yes, the whole X-Men thing kind of gets a little weird because there was the X-Men game that came out with it, so that sometimes gets blurred together.
Yeah, that's why that's why I'm getting confused. But there's some great X-Men stuff in there.
Yep.
Stuff with the what is the race that's in outer space that deals with the Dark Phoenix, Lalandra's Shi'ar. There's this whole thing with the Shi'ar and Gladiator, and like if you find the hidden Macron crystals, and that's how you can actually unlock Phoenix, which is
and Mephisto.
Yeah, Mephisto. There's little weird decisions throughout that whole game that affect the endings. Like you can unlock different endings, and they tell you all these things, like because of the choices you make, what the ending is. You know, and
we had some pretty bad ones that happened to us. I know that.
Yes, because there's one where, like, isn't it like Galactus like eats everyone?
Yes, like everyone dies.
You don't.
It was because you didn't help Mr. Fantastic find the
ultimate nullifier.
The ultimate nullifier, and he ended up coming and killing everybody.
One of the worst decisions in that game, and I mean, let's go ahead and skip the next 30 seconds if you don't want any spoilers at all. But in Mephisto's realm, the last chance to skip for like 30 seconds or maybe a minute. In Mephisto's realm, he captured Nightcrawler and Phoenix, and he's in a cage and there's hanging over lava. And the game literally makes you choose to free one. But when you choose to free one, it drops the other one into the lava pit.
And you know you have to pick one to survive.
You have to pick one to survive. So since one of them is Phoenix,
you obviously have to pick Phoenix. Obviously.
No, I did not pick Phoenix. I picked Nightcrawler because I figured Phoenix rises from the ashes. So she'll just come back. But if you choose Nightcrawler and you let Phoenix die, Phoenix comes back at Dark Phoenix and like kills all the X-Men or something because you let her die. Like there's crazy things. Well,
you know what happens?
No. But Nightcrawler also comes back and what?
No, when you save Phoenix and you kill Nightcrawler, Mystique is upset about it, she sneaks into the X-Mansion and murders Professor Xavier in his sleep.
Yep. So I mean, like they both have terrible consequences. So I don't know why there's no good outcome for that. I mean, that seems kind of wrong because it's telling you that life sucks. You know. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just make decisions and gotta live with it, you know?
So that's why I think number 1 is pretty solid.
But Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is out, which has been out for a little bit. It just came out with a new DLC, the last DLC that it has. There's 3 DLCs. The third one being the Fantastic Four. It just came out a couple days ago, I think Tuesday or Thursday. Mm-hmm. I think Thursday. Awesome. They added 4 new characters. I bet you can guess what the 4 are.
Mephisto?
It's Mephisto. Yep. It's its own story with the Fantastic Four. I have not played through it yet.
I haven't even finished the main story of Ultimate Alliance 3.
Terrible. I watched people play it because I wanted to make sure it had its own story for the DLC, and it did. And the couple of characters that I saw that you were kind of going up against were really, really cool. And I don't want to say anything to spoil it for anybody because I even want to play it. I don't even want to tell you because you need to play it. But it looks really cool and really interesting. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is really fun. And it's something that you can definitely grind through multiple times.
Yeah. I mean, I plan on picking it back up. A lot of cool characters, between Spider-Man characters, X-Men, Avengers, obviously. And the DLCs make it even cooler because one of the DLCs is, did they call it the Midnight Suns? I don't remember, but it's pretty much, it brings you Blade, Morbius, Moon Knight, and I forget who the fourth person was.
I didn't hear. It was Punisher. Yes.
And then they also didn't they have like a Dark Phoenix?
Yes.
DLC as well.
You get Iceman, Cable.
Yeah, Cable is one I remember because I was like, yes,
Phoenix, right? And
I don't know. I'd imagine.
Who's the fourth character? Cyclops has to be already in it.
Cyclops and Colossus were a patch update after the game came out. It was separate from. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There's also cool DLCs.
Gambit. What am I talking about?
Oh, was it?
He's probably one of the coolest ones. Yeah, Gambit.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he wasn't in the main game. But there's tons of characters to choose from. I mean, you can even play as Deadpool. Like people
and alternate costumes.
Deadpool. Yeah, alternate costumes. Well, I mean, all the games had alternate costumes, which was pretty cool. To me, it's always fun to do the comic book costume ones.
Yeah, I think those are the best ones, or the original costumes too.
Yeah.
Those are always the cool ones to do.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance, especially if you're a comic book fan, it's kind of like that top down. It's easy to play. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, stick it on easy and button mash it on the couch with your friends, or I think Ultimate Alliance 3 you can play online. Ultimate
Alliance 3 though is a little
or more. Don't play with your friends. Let me stay isolated, and if you have a significant other, play together.
Yes, don't play with your friends. Ultimate Alliance 3 is one of those games though it's a little more difficult than Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 because you have to have like a synergy with your other characters when you're fighting. Because I noticed like as you start progressing in the game, it does kind of get a little more difficult. And I noticed that if you just use like you have everyone has 4 abilities. And if you just use your ability to, for Thor to throw his hammer in a circle, that's great. It works well. But there's another button you can hold while doing that. That'll do like a combo with like, let's say you're with Storm and she'll use like a whirlwind with that and it'll do more damage. Once you start getting later into the game, you have to make sure you're doing that or else you basically have no chance at like winning. So if you are playing with a friend, it does take, some call outs maybe to really get good at it.
Interesting. I don't know if I'm quite that far yet. But Ultimate Alliance 2 kind of had something similar, but like it was just like random things could combine to just do crazy attacks. Generally, I think anyone you pretty much picked could do some kind of combination. You had to be less careful.
The big one was like Iron Man and Cap. That was like the cool one. You just shoot in his shield and
the main story of Ultimate Alliance 3 involves the Infinity Stones. So I mean, like that's very, very, very relevant right now. So I mean, like there's all kinds of cool stories. And if you want to go back to there was 2 X-Men games that were kind of like that. I forget what they're called. X-Men Legends. X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2. Rise of Apocalypse.
Or Age of Apocalypse.
I don't think it was Age of Apocalypse. I thought it was like
Rise of Apocalypse. It could be Rise. It's Rise or Age. Yeah.
Google it. You'll find it. They are a little dated. Maybe start with them because in recent years, Erica, my wife and I, we went through and played some of the older ones, and you can tell the gameplay gets progressively better from X-Men Legends to X-Men Legends 2 to Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like especially once they get to Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like there's quite a jump in quality, which is really interesting. Like the gameplay is much more refined, which is cool.
It would be cool to see them possibly remaster them. I don't know if they have. I know they've released them back on the PlayStation PS4 store, but I don't know. We will see.
Yeah, probably not enough hype. But I mean, off topic for just a second. Did you see that they're re-releasing Star Wars Pod Racer?
Oh yes, that's awesome.
My goodness,
talk about a game to go back and play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to have it accessible again on. I know it's coming to PS4. I don't know if it's coming out to anything else like PC or anything, but like they announced that along with I think it was a Jedi Training Academy. I think just came out on PS4. I never played it. I'm kind of interested to see what that's all about, especially since
I have no idea what it is.
There's a multiplayer like lightsaber battle aspect, so it might be worth looking into. But Star Wars Pod Racer for sure. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for that to come out. Hopefully, we'll get a date here soon.
It's gonna be. Do they announce like price or anything?
No, I don't think so. But I guess we'll see. Maybe we have to look at what Jedi Training Academy price is and compare it. I'm sure it's not going to be too expensive. Like it's an older game. I mean, generally those re-releases are what, like $20 maybe.
Yeah, usually. What's really interesting though about the game is the fact that they are putting the online aspect back in, because lot of on the Jedi Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're going to be able to play against people online. Mm-hmm. I had no idea that this thing had like a huge community.
I didn't either.
And player base. I have no idea what it even is.
Heard it. Yeah. I haven't quite even heard of it. I'm gonna look into it though. Maybe it'll be something worth, depending on the price point. Maybe it'd be worth trying out.
100%.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll report back. Maybe we'll do a stream. All right, I only got a few more things on my list.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about a game that just recently, I don't know if it recently came out, but I just recently found it. Looks like actually it came out in September. But it's on the Epic Game Store. It's called The Cycle. Okay. It's kind of it's a weird game. It's almost kind of looks like Borderlands, if you've seen Borderlands. But it's a
little bit. It doesn't have that. It's not like cell shaded kind of stuff. But I mean, I see what you mean. Like as far as the way
you're shooting monsters
look.
And
yeah, like that.
It's a first person shooter. So it's like it could be PvP or PvE or PvEVP. They even say it's not a battle royale. It kind of, it isn't, but it is.
It is.
It is, but
it's not about effort. Like this is not another battle royale game.
So it's not it's not about who you're like being the last person alive. It's about doing a mission and getting a certain amount of points or whatever their system is by completing different missions or by also eliminating other opponents and taking, I'm assuming, some of their points that they have accumulated.
And there's monsters and stuff. So is this only on PC?
I think it might only be on PC. I don't think that it's on anything else. It could be on PlayStation though. It's on the Epic Game Store. It's free. It's free game. I think if it's free, it's always worth trying.
Free game, try it out.
Try it out 100% because you might find something.
We're going to be in lockdown, so I mean, try the free games.
But it looks like fun. It's a first person shooter. It looks pretty simple. It looks like something you could pick up quickly. The graphics are decent. I mean, it's done on Unreal Engine, so I mean that's always really good.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I can dig shoot it, and one thing I miss about multiplayer games lately is I feel like because like whenever we finally all of the friends that I game with, like it's easy to get on multiplayer shooter games, right? But I feel like we haven't had a game in a long time where we could work through something together and fight the monsters. Like we just haven't had that. I'm not saying there hasn't been games available, but just once you're an adult and you have a life, getting on the same game all the time isn't necessarily always easy. Like I miss being able to fight the boss together, or something. That's why I'm still ready to play Halo 1. I mean, you guys let me know.
I'm ready. I'm ready to play it.
Let's do this. Let's
I think
play through the story. I've never beaten Halo 1. I never got past like level 6 or something.
Can you play Halo 1 together online?
I think so. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's do it. Let's play Halo.
I'm down to do it.
I'm ready. You guys heard him.
Joe's never played Halo.
Wow. Bad.
And it's terrible. Like, I don't even know. I'm like, how do you even game? No wonder you're terrible at video games. You never play Halo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually upsetting. I don't know. Like, what a sad childhood that is.
I wasn't like that great at it, and I got stuck, but I still kept up with it. I still got Halo 2, and it was fun. And then Halo 3 was kind of like the peak, because even the subsequent game was still just the Halo 3 multiplayer.
Right.
Regardless of what you think of the story, you mostly got Halo for the multiplayer, and it was still just stuck on that 3.
Halo 3 story, I loved it. I played through that thing like 50 times.
I
at least.
See, Joe might have played through it with us. Maybe he didn't. Because those were we all just moved out of our parents' house, and like we were a bunch of roommates in a house, and like I remember hooking up a bunch of Xboxes, and like there was 4 of us playing. Like I know I played it with my friend Yujon. I don't remember who else played it with us. It might have been other people, but it was fun for sure. I think that was the first one I fully played through.
And talk about a game, like, I don't know why, I could be wrong. Maybe there are other games, but I can't think of any games that when you play through it, you're like, okay, that was fun. Now not only do I want to play through it again, but I'm going to add these. There's all these different options you can add, like headshot only. So you'd have to shoot people in the head to kill them.
Custom game mode.
Custom game modes in the story mode. That was so much fun, because you
realize it was in the story mode.
Yeah, you could put it on like expert, and then you have to do headshot only, and then you have to do like all these other things. It was such a unique and fun thing to do that you'd be like, oh, let's grind this with my friends and try to beat this. And I feel like a lot of games kind of come up short with that. They just put out their 6-hour campaign, and they're like, that's it. You're done.
I miss multiplayer games like Halo 3 when it comes to the multiplayer shooter. And I'm waiting for this battle royale thing to die down, because I don't understand why we can't just have both. I think both is where it's at. Like, let's have both game modes, But in Halo, like Halo versus Call of Duty, especially if you're a little more casual, like I am, like I don't want to get dropped in and just be shot once and die. Like in Halo 3, like you had to be shot a few times, like, and you had the shield, and there were all these kind of different guns, and I'm sure like you can get close quarters with the sword thing and get stabbed, and you can kill a bunch pretty quickly. But there was that dynamic, I think, to me is perfect. Overwatch is kind of close, because Overwatch you can headshot and die, but like if you're tanking, you can get shot up a few times, and you get a chance to pull back or heal or whatever. But also jetpacks, invisibility shields, like all like these extra little dynamics. I don't know. Like I miss that.
The problem is, I think a lot of the games that are popular mainly because they are competitive, and you can make money if you're really good at it. Like Call of Duty, there's tournaments all the time. Thousands of $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. Fortnite, $1 million tournaments, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's really what the hype is people are into that, but and most of them obviously don't even get anywhere near that. They think they're, probably, I might be able to do it, But there are games that are like Destiny, for example. Destiny is a pretty good game as far as, hey, I want to play with my friends and kill a boss together. But then there was this, and I love Destiny, but for the first 2 games, they kept just saying, hey, here's a DLC. You can't really do anything if you buy the DLC, and the DLC is $60. And you're just like, I'm not putting $60 more into your game. Mm-hmm. So I think that the problem is really just the market isn't, for whatever reason, game companies, they don't really want to give you one or the other, a lot of these games like Call of Duty just put out a free game that's going to have tournaments and it's a battle royale and it's people going crazy over it. I mean,
and it's also
they're trying
to stick one out every year.
Right.
That's why I'm really hoping this trend that Overwatch is setting, where you have a lore and you have stories and you start carrying over your unlocks and stuff. Like I think it's going to open the door for a lot of things, because they have this balance where they can not only make money off of Overwatch League and competitive stuff, but they have a huge merchandise aspect to it as well. I'm not just talking about the loot boxes. Like, I mean, like, you know, shirts and pops and action figures, like real merchandise.
The big thing with that is because Blizzard has it. Blizzard, they try to make their games last as long as possible, and
they're good with lore and stuff. You know?
Yes, and Blizzard's actually the one who did. It's Activision, but Activision's Blizzard now, right? Activision Blizzard's the one that did Call of Duty Warzone, and they made it free to play. And I think they want this Warzone to be something that isn't just a year, you know, and hey, we're going to get a new Call of Duty. So we'll see with that. But I think, I mean, even look at Fortnite. Fortnite, they did a whole new chapter. They didn't really do Fortnite 2, but they kind of did. They did Fortnite, and then we did chapter 2. They blew it up and put it in a new island.
Frankly, you know, with the popularity of Fortnite and how long it's been, the fact that it still says early access.
Oh, it's like, you know, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. At what point is it just like it's a joke? It's not early access. Like you're making it was the biggest game in the world for however long. You know, you still have this huge player base. You have all of this merchandise, and it's an early access game. Like, give me a break. I'm sorry.
So the big thing though is with Fortnite, the battle royale part is like isn't supposed to be the actual part of the game.
But yeah,
you know that, right?
But that is, yes, I understand that. But it just from the fan base has made it that
right.
That's all the game is.
The story mode's actually awesome. I don't know why nobody plays it. I bought it when it was on sale and I played through it, and it's actually a lot of fun. I would love to grind it with friends, like, because it's one of those, because it's Fortnite almost what it was in the beginning, where no one was good at it. Because I remember when we all played, we would try to drop somewhere really far, right, and we would just get as much materials and build a base and just hope that the bubble stays on us, right? And if anyone came to our tower, that was it, you know, because nobody knew how to build. Nobody could just put up 100 ramps at one time, you know, with their mouse and keyboard. But the story mode, like, you have certain, you have like waves of zombies that come at certain points, and you have to make sure you're it's like a tower defense almost, but you build your defenses and make sure they stay strong, and you have to kill the zombies before they break into your base. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, the fact that it's early access, I don't know. Maybe they just don't realize it still says it, and they're just
they overhauled the whole thing. Like they had to make a new graphic for it. Like, ridiculous. Just take it off. Like you're not fooling anyone at this point. You're making deals with not only Marvel but DC and whoever else, and Star Wars, you know, Lucasfilm. I know it's all under Disney, but still, like, you know,
it's Borderlands, they did that deal with another gaming company. Mm-hmm. They had a Borderlands like part of the map and a character. It was crazy. Oh, it was insane.
All right. I just want to touch on two more. This is a 2-for-1 deal here. As far as going back and playing an older game that you should play if you've never played it. Once again, I'm suggesting these older games because I have played through them more than once. And this is Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay.
They were so good. And it's what I never played the original Sonics, but this is what got me into Sonic a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
I'm not going to lie. These are the only Sonic games that I actually like. Yeah. I don't like any of the other Sonic games.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you like the Sonic games.
No. Yeah, I think that's fine. I wish they did another Sonic game like this.
They have attempted to. I know they did Sonic Heroes and it fell on its face.
Yeah,
it was
that's what I heard. That made me sad. But Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, originally for the Dreamcast. And you can't really do it now, but like in the Dreamcast controller, you had these little, I don't even remember what they were called, but they're like almost like a mini Game Boy thing. You could stick it in the controller, and in between levels, you can collect different animals and these little colorful like tube thingies, and you could start raising what's called chows. This was in Sonic Adventure 2. But you can put them in the little mini Game Boy thing, and you could bring it with you and get little steps, and it raises the chow and you can feed them and stuff. It was like before Pokemon even started doing that, like Sonic did that with these little chows. It was really fun, little dynamic. But Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, it's kind of like Super Mario 64. It's like a 3D platformer. You go through each level. The stories are interesting. Even the first one, it gets a little sad, at parts. Definitely worth picking up. There's several ways to play it. I'm not even going to bother going into how, but just look it up. I think you could buy it on the Microsoft Store. I think it's the most accessible way to do it.
Alicia and I played it, I want to say like a year or two ago. And we were able to get it through PlayStation Now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Their online gaming service. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of old games, and we played it on the PS4. And basically she was just doing it. We just played it for the Chow Garden, honestly. It was funny. Just so much fun just raising the chows and getting... See,
I played it during the PS4 era, but for some reason I plugged in my Xbox 360 to play it. That might have just been because I already had it. I didn't want to buy it again. But it was fun. Like I replayed it just a couple of years ago. Honestly though, like I played through all of Sonic Adventure 2. I'm stuck on the last level. So like not the good guy one, not the bad guy one, but after you do the good guy story, then the bad guy story, there's one more final level, and it's so hard. It's so hard. I feel like an idiot.
And it's something that like you can get into, and then maybe I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it, but I also haven't seen the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Maybe you can go watch that and go play the game. Maybe there's relatable things in there. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the movie did well, so
yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't really say. But yeah, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, definitely worth it. Like even if you're not into Sonic, they're just fun.
They're very fun.
All right, you got anything else? I've got one more game that I think is good for isolation.
No, shoot. Go for it.
Okay, so this isn't just one game. This is actually a lot of games. You probably know where I'm going with this.
I think I know exactly where you're going with this.
And if you haven't got a sponsored ad for it on Facebook yet, you're going to now that you're listening to this, and the secret Facebook phones hear you. And that is just Google Jackbox games. There are so many. There's a ton of bundles. Probably the best one is a game called Quiplash, which is essentially, I guess, Cards Against Humanity, but you write in your answers and then you vote on the answer you like best. And the best part about this is like you and your friends can play this together in your isolation in your homes on one screen and just play it from your phone. There's a little code, and you can all participate by just typing in the unique code, Jackbox TV or whatever the URL is. But I mean, only one of you has to buy it, and you can all play. Maybe hop on video chat, and you can all see the screen together.
Yeah,
but it's a great.
You just need one person to Skype it, basically, or stream it, and then everyone else just watches.
Do it. Hop on that screen share and have a Jackbox party. They're pushing that really hard right now.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, Discord's probably the best way to go about it. If you don't have a streaming service, like if you're not streaming on Twitch or something, Discord's probably the best way to go about it. You can
just pop in a screen share. And I just found right before this, before recording this podcast, I saw that Jackbox was giving away, I forget what it's called now. It's their Pictionary game, Draw Something 2. It's free right now on Steam, and I think one other place, and it's 9 cents right now on the Nintendo shop.
9 cents.
It's not free. It's 9 cents.
You know what it is? It's probably covering what Nintendo's charging them to put the game on there.
Like, well,
that's probably what it is.
We're not gonna
eat that
9 cents cost, so we can only do 99% off or whatever it equated to.
Yeah.
That's probably exactly what it is. Yeah, it's 9 cents on the Switch. I got it for free on Steam. Maybe we'll play it, maybe we'll stream it. But it's essentially Pictionary, I think. But I think there's a voting dynamic. It's essentially Pictionary, but not quite Pictionary. I just downloaded. I can't remember what it's called. Draw. Oh, here it is. Drawful. Like awful. Drawful 2. Yep, 9 cents on the Switch. So that's there's a big push for playing in quarantine. Like I said, Quiplash I think is a favorite. I'll be honest though, probably within every bundle, like there's good ones and there's ones that aren't that great. I remember we were playing one of the bundles you had, and a couple of the games just weren't quite as fun as some of the other ones. But especially, if your friends are funny, Quiplash really is the way to go, because you can just type 100%. In your answers, and it can get pretty crazy, and that's all I'll say.
Now that you mention it, one game that I think is really fun, and if you have some type of VR or you have a Nintendo Switch even, and it'd be fun to play, even though it's not a quarantine thing, but if you're at home, you have family, siblings that you want to play a game with, Keep Talking or You Explode.
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
And Nobody Explodes. That game is a lot of fun.
I think you can play that in quarantine, because
you could do it on Discord or something.
Pop it on Discord, right? So that way the people can see the bomb, because the people who are helping you defuse the bomb just need the manual.
Yeah, so they don't need to see the bomb. They just need to see the manual.
That's right.
Because you're going to describe it to them.
That's right. You're right. You're not even supposed to see it. So it's actually perfect for isolation. Yes, I definitely recommend that. And it's fun in VR. It's for PlayStation VR, but you can also get it on Steam, I think. I didn't know it was on the Switch. That's pretty cool. On Steam, it is fun in VR, because you can actually, like, holding the bomb and you're describing the different places, and definitely start at the beginning, make your way up, because you'll start coming up with interesting names for what the different puzzles are and what the different symbols look like or called. You kind of start inventing your own language, amongst your friends that you're playing with. It's a lot of fun. It's a pretty cheap game too. I think you usually can get it between like $5 and $15, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably on sale right now.
Yeah.
A lot of games are on sale right now.
Yeah, that's a great game. That's definitely a fun party game. Kind of like Mario Party. But actually, before we wrap up too, I just want to mention Mario Party and Mario Kart. Don't forget about those games. I mean, how do you go wrong with Nintendo? I've actually been tempted to buy Mario Kart.
Really? I have it for the Switch.
So that's why I wanted to buy it, because I thought it would be fine, if you had Mario Kart and I had Mario Party, and our friend Drew has Smash Brothers, because you kind of only play it together. But now here we are in isolation. Like, I kind of want to play Mario Kart, and we can't play Mario Party because we're not together. So some things to think about. It's more of an investment if everyone's having to buy the game, but whatever.
Another fun game that's just for like laughs, and it's a good time, that I saw was on sale for 40% off on the Steam store before we came on here, was Uno. That's always a game that you can just mess around, have some fun.
I hate Uno.
Come on, Uno's great. It's so much fun.
I hate Uno. I hate Uno because in elementary school, everyone has their own rules that they make up. So whenever I play with the idiots, they would be like, oh, stack the 2, then 3, and then 4, because the same color, and then number sequence, then draw 4, and then I win. Like, it was always something. But this is the Uno game is, there's none of that. It's you play by the official.
That's
Uno why rules. I'm open to playing it in an official capacity, but that's why I hated it. I hate Uno now, because elementary
I get
school,
that.
everyone's making up their own rules.
But what's funny though is you can play by some of those rules. Like there are like you could play stacking or no stacking. But it's good because it's like it won't let you play the card because obviously it doesn't go with the rules.
Yep.
But it's just a fun game to have some laughs and
of course, in that same vein, like there's board games.
Oh yeah,
like,
Monopoly.
How many of us all realize like, yeah, we had a little kick there where we played Monopoly on PlayStation 4. Like, we played it a lot. I actually bought Risk and we never even opened it. I have Risk on PS4,
but we all have to get it. That's the reason why.
But it's like $4.
I don't know if it is anymore, but
we'll see what happens. We'll see how bored we get. Maybe we'll break out some Monopoly. Maybe we'll play some Risk.
When we got Monopoly, that was also so. This was like a low time in video games. This was like right before like Fortnite came out.
It was before Battlefront, I think. Or no, after.
Was before that? No, it was after Battlefront.
Because it was
when Battlefront started getting a little like repetitive. There was no Overwatch yet. There was no Fortnite, and we were just like, what are we going to play? And we decided to play Monopoly, and then the casino game.
Casino.
Four Kings Casino, yeah. And we had so much fun gambling.
Yeah. Yes, that was an all. I've deleted so many games, to clear. I've deleted Fortnite, I've deleted all kinds of games, but I still have Four Kings Casino installed.
It was a fun game.
Mostly because I reinstalled it because I wanted to play some blackjack.
It was even fun to just because there's like little places you go to the club and just do like silly little like emotes or something. You just go to the club and just sit there and be stupid.
Ridiculous. There was no purpose to it. But you literally just walk around a casino and you can play the different casino games. You start with X amount of money. And there's other little mini things to do to get more money if you do run low for some reason. I think you could buy more money, which is actually kind of messed up if you think about it, because if you're actually losing the money because you're gambling, I mean, like that's dangerously close to.
But you can't. But you don't get the money back though. That's why it's not.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sure people are complaining about loot boxes. Forget about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little snowball of little extra games there. But those are all fun. Those are all great. There's gonna be plenty of things to do in isolation. Just gotta make the most of it, have fun. Technology is in such a wonderful place that you can still all hang out with the people you love virtually. Everything's gonna be great, and we're gonna get through this, and we're gonna get through this together. Make the most of it. Make it fun. Go back and watch.
I think this is a great opportunity to just sit back, relax. If you don't have to work, then relax, calm down. Everyone needs to stop stressing out, have some fun with the family, or do whatever, voice calls, whatever. Just work out. That's the first thing that I thought when this happened was, I'm going to get in such good shape. This is awesome. I'm going to work out at home like every day.
Just make the most.
Yeah, just make the most of it.
Be positive. Yep. Like your attitude toward it will go a long way. But we appreciate you all.
It's my little last word of wisdom. It's not always about the actions that happen to you. It's about your reactions to those actions.
Yep.
So don't forget that.
Absolutely. But we appreciate you all taking the time to make us a part of your isolation here and escape reality for a minute. Thank you for joining us every week and liking, sharing, and subscribing. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. We're on Facebook and Twitter at Nightcap Chat, and Instagram at Nightcap_chat. And if you don't mind, if you can take the time to leave a review, especially on platforms like iTunes, like that grants us, more and more opportunities for various things to be more successful. But I appreciate you all taking the time to listen.
And you can catch me on twitch.tv/Tales of Lance and come hang out, enjoy the stream, or if I'm not on, go watch one of my old streams, drop a follow if you can, and let me know what you think of it.
Yep. And we're trying to cook up some extra little things. Maybe we'll do some kind of spin-off video chat. Maybe we'll do some streams of games together. Like, we'll see what happens. But we're thinking of some things to have some fun and maybe even interact with some of you guys as well. But thank you all for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Have a good night.